Twitch. Hello. Okay, let's see. I can... Guys, oh, they hear us! Yay! Okay, I'm gonna go live to Facebook then.
All right. Take two.
There's reasons for that, and I'm not going to explain them.
We do that with a lot of things that go wrong around here.
Yep. Hello, everyone. Welcome to 10 Forward Weekly. This is a weekly stream we do for Star Trek Online. If you're new, it's every Wednesday, usually at 4. But Thomas and I both had to leave early today, so...
Oh, that's why. So we're doing it for you. Yeah, Thomas has a thing that he does every Wednesday night.
I assume
it all worked out because then a meeting got scheduled, so I actually can't leave early.
Oh, no! Oh, I'm sorry. And then also, I'm going to an advanced screening of Ready Player One tonight, so I have to leave early. Yeah, I'm very
awesome.
I hope anyway.
Important
it's a first come first served screening, so it's one of those if I don't get there to the city by 7, so we'll see what happens.
Starts at midnight?
Yeah, no. I wish. All right, hello everyone. For those of us who do come joining for the first time, you guys want to introduce yourselves and say who you are and what you do?
I'll go first. My name is Jeremy Randall, like it says on the tin. I'm the lead systems designer. That means that I'm in charge of the people that make the math and the spreadsheets and the explosions and all the numbers. We make the numbers go.
Cool.
And my name is Thomas Maroney. I'm the lead ship artist and lead UI artist for Star Trek Online. So that means I make the 3D models of the spaceships, and I also overlook the UIs and icons and things like that.
Cool. Sweet. Well, welcome to the show, guys.
Well, who are you?
Oh, hi. I said already. I'm the community manager, Mike Fadum. Also known as Ambassador. I know you don't. I read your emails. We had a bit of an exciting announcement this morning. We announced something that we've all been working on and sort of teasing towards you guys for a very long time, which is Victory is Life, which is our 4th expansion coming this June to PC and later this summer to Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And it's really exciting. It's our Deep Space Nine themed expansion. We just announced 4 of the 10 Deep Space Nine actors that are going to be joining us, which was Armin Shimmerman, Renee... I can never pronounce his last name. Auberginois, I think. Odo.
You know who we're talking
Nana Visitor, who is Kira, and J.G. Hertzler is returning as Martok. So it's fascinating. It's exciting. You guys have been knee-deep in the trenches with this thing for months and months and months. I mean, you were working on this when we teased it last year at STLV. Mm-hmm. And that was like late in the process. What is it like to finally be able to admit that this thing exists?
A bit of a load off, but now a different kind of anxiousness starts. Oh God, do they like what we're doing with that side of it?
Yeah.
But it's really exciting to see some of the information already getting out there, and see some of the fan excitement over it as well. Like, there's been a lot of positive feedback so far, and a lot of expectations that I hope that we can live up to.
Yeah, I agree. When you're in the trenches on something and it's like a super secret, and then you just kind of churn away at it for a long time, and you're like, are people even gonna like this? Are they even gonna care by the time it's done? Because I think we started like 4 or 5 months ago. We started figuring
with the actual implementation process. But like Mike said, like I was involved with the planning, like the setting up this early scripting and stuff as early as a year ago.
We've been talking about this, I think, the whole time I've been with the company, so it's like almost 2 years now, like a year and a half anyway. So other than the exciting actors that we've announced, and certain other actors that may have already been announced, not by us, what kind of cool stuff can we expect in Victory is Life?
Well, you know, it's unfortunate. One of the coolest things I want to talk to people about, we haven't announced it yet. So I have to wait for it.
You'll have to tell me what that is after the stream, so I can know. Well, I can know when to tweet you. Mordecus, go!
So there's something I'm still waiting and holding close.
There's lots of details still coming.
I mean, I think, we announced obviously that you're going to be able to play a Jem'Hadar, and so one of the coolest things from an art perspective is expanding on the Jem'Hadar and adding new things to the Jem'Hadar repertoire, new weapons, new ships, all that stuff is going to be coming. And so there's the kind of playing with that visual language and drawing it out and seeing, how does it look in 2410.
It's been 30 years
fun.
since we saw them on screen.
Right.
So how can we evolve their look to the modern day?
Yeah, and I've seen some concepts for some updated Jem'Hadar things that I cannot talk about that look really amazing, you guys. So speaking of the Jem'Hadar, we did announce today that it is a faction that when you begin at level 60 with certain things already. What are you playing again?
There was still sound issues, apparently.
Said something about an eardrum explosion. I don't know. Whoever is playing with the audio?
I'm not playing with the audio. I haven't touched the audio. Okay. Sorry, guys. I hope that's not crude. I'm not sure what's happening.
I don't know either.
Okay. I turned it down some more. I don't know what happened. I'm very sorry about that. Okay. Every so often the mic is going mad.
Auto
I'm being
level
told.
as we are.
It shouldn't. I've never had to do that before. I swear to gosh.
I'm getting over a cold, so I'm talking kind of quiet a little sometimes.
Maybe, yeah, I know. Maria is running upstairs to yell at us, but we're all aware. Okay, well, let's keep talking, and then if we explode your eardrums again, I'm sorry. Maybe don't listen to this with headphones until we know what's wrong. So the Jem'Hadar, we announced today, there's a faction where when you start a Jem'Hadar, you start at level 60. And so a lot of the stuff that you would normally pick out over the course of the game is going to be picked out for you. You want to talk a little bit about how that's going to work?
Well, I will go ahead and tell you that we're not finalized on exactly what those details are, but the plan is for every Jem'Hadar character they can still pick their profession, so science, engineering, and tactical, and then depending on which of those you choose, you'll be given probably some sort of customized set of equipment, skill loadouts, specializations will be partially completed. Some of your reputations will also already be at least progressed, maybe completed, but at least thoroughly progressed. So that you can really hit the ground running as even better than what a fresh 60 would be. Like you've got some mileage on that Jem'Hadar. The idea being that you're a veteran soldier of some sort at this point.
Hitting it?
No, it's like right here. I don't know what's going on with it.
It sounds like something's hitting it. Like it
I don't know.
And then really loud.
I mean, I believe you. I just don't know what could be causing it. It's a wild Maria, everyone. Now she's going to go back downstairs and go jump and chat again.
She just gave us a verbal expression of what you guys are apparently.
Yeah, apparently it sounds like
crash. Blah.
Cthulhu, to answer your question, yes, if you will be able to, if you are brand new to Star Trek Online, start a Jem'Hadar right off the bat if you wanted to start at level 60. We're still discussing a lot of the details on how that's going to work for
at the very least, we're planning to put in a little warning that says, hey, if you've never played Star Trek Online, warning. There's going to be a lot to learn, and maybe you should go try out the other tutorials first.
Just run a tutorial. Maybe do the first 10 levels of the Klingon campaign.
Because we know how complex our game is by the time you hit 60. It's not a mystery to us or anything. But we did want to give players, both new and veteran, the opportunity to jump right into where the bulk of the game currently exists. We do a lot of stuff for existing players for the case of retention and keeping existing players interested in the game, and that means that a lot of the content is 60.
Yeah.
So getting everybody to that point is one of the goals of this expansion.
Okay, so quick test here. Guys, take off your headphones. Just everyone take off your headphones if you have headphones on. Okay, Thomas, say something at your normal volume.
This is me talking at my normal volume.
Okay, now I'm going to keep talking at my normal volume. You guys tell me if that made it explode, because apparently someone was saying it sounds like it's trying to adjust for you and your naturally quiet speaking voice.
Okay.
So we'll see if that works.
Why is everyone talking like this?
Why would you do that?
Why are we shouting?
To see if the microphones are too loud.
Would you tell them to take their headphones off?
It's contrast.
Okay. All right. Apparently that seemed to have worked. Okay. So we're good here. Everything seems to be okay.
Okay, so the answer is just to speak very loudly for the rest of the stream.
Oh God, no, please. Yeah, people say that we'll complain if it freaks out again. Yes, but we're trying to prevent you having to guys having to complain. So much of my job description actually falls into that sentence.
Complaint prevention department.
Maria is now just making the Inception trailer noise in chat to help us out.
Yeah, that's helping.
Yeah. Okay, so.
But as Mike said, just to clarify, even brand new players and existing players can both use the option to start as a Jem'Hadar at 60.
Yep. So people are asked, let's see, Anthony Bird, I think the answer to that question I'm pretty sure is yes. Level 60 characters will be able to participate in all the events and things like that. Like you normally would on a level 60 in any other faction.
You will be journeying from 60 to 65 in the Jem'Hadar.
There's going to be some provisions for that because of, if you can make a new character and instantly do some things like claim certain things, or
that would be.
There's going to be a few limitations, but only the bare minimum to protect the player
But
gate.
he was asking about participating in events. So like if you roll a Jem'Hadar, you can play the Breach tomorrow if we were launching it today.
I mean, you'll probably have to get through the tutorial mission. But a few lightweight restrictions, but generally, yes, you can hop right in.
Oh, okay. Apparently it's Jeremy's drink.
Oh, it's on the table.
You do it again. I don't know. I'll talk quietly for a second so we don't break their ears.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Are we good? Okay, it's his drink. Got it. It's all drink on the floor. It's on the floor. We're all happy to know that in real life, Jeremy's just come from defective service.
I've never lost control of the space station.
Speaking of space stations, the Current was lost control of.
Oh, that's pretty. Anyway.
Put it back.
Put it back.
Put what back?
Hold on. It's now it's still super loud. Put the drink back. Everyone's yelling.
Why are we?
What is happening? Oh, we're professionals.
Did that help?
That help?
Did that work, guys?
Does that do something?
Okay, now it's quiet. No, they said don't do it, but we did it because there's a delay. Touch nothing but the lamp. Okay.
Is this
This seems to be okay again.
okay?
Is everybody
Remember,
cool?
they're on a
All
delay, right?
I'm not
Yeah.
going to listen to chat anymore today.
You
Not
have
about
to.
technical.
We're doing a Q&A.
No, not about technical issues.
Will existing Jem'Hadar ships be available to playable Jem'Hadar via progression? I don't know if that's something we're talking about today, but I can throw
We're
that one
probably
to you
not
guys.
going to talk about that.
Yeah,
today.
okay, that's fine.
Not today.
There's the million questions flying by, so I'm going to just ask the ones I see.
Honestly, because we announced today, there's not going to be a lot, but keep tuning in for these weekly streams.
We're going
probably
to
keep
announce
rolling
more
out
stuff
more and more information.
as more information comes out, there's more
Right.
things we'll announce. For example, we're not talking about whether or not you'll be able to play as Cardassians yet. Right now, we're only announcing the Jem'Hadar. Will Jem'Hadar parts be added to Alien Gen? I don't know if we can talk about that today. But that's probably a decision that needs to be talked about.
Well, I mean, when you make a Jem'Hadar, you're making a Jem'Hadar. It will be a
Yeah.
new species. You're not going to make an alien gen that looks like a Jem'Hadar.
No.
They'll have new Jem'Hadar traits and new...
They even have their own custom name generator now.
No, nice.
So do their ships.
Legit.
Yeah.
I love their ship name generator. And I don't. Spoilers! So, Dominion, Jem'Hadar don't name their ships.
Right.
Yeah.
So, all of their random name generators is just going to be like Alpha JX.
Nice.
It's just going to be like
super cool.
serial numbers and random combinations.
I've already decided that my Jem'Hadar Boff is going to become my Jem'Hadar character. Like I'm literally just going to take him off of my bridge crew, make a new Jem'Hadar with his
Sure.
name, and be like, oh, that's the story
Just
now.
called back to duty.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. I'm going to keep looking for questions.
There's a question from Cthulhu. Are we talking about it yet, or
I don't know. I don't see it.
I saw it, Cthulhu.
Well, was the question about rewriting Les Mis lyrics? Because we've discovered
No.
Cthulhu is very good at that.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't regarding that. There it is.
Oh,
With
yes, we are talking about that picture. We can't say much other than if there was a picture, but if you go to Reddit and also to some of the media articles today, one of the pictures that we released was a picture of a new ship that we're not naming or anything today, but a lot of you have correctly guessed what species it belongs to just
I
by
think
looking at it.
hovering over the.
Well, also just by looking at it.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like the type of ship it is.
Right.
And yet new
And
at
new.
the same time.
It's really pretty, and I really like it. Will the Jem'Hadar be free? Yes, because we're a free-to-play game.
Yes.
So that's you'll be able to do when the expansion launches. You'll be able to just roll up a Jem'Hadar immediately if you'd like.
We don't currently do anything to pay gate our content
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, everyone will be able to play as a Jem'Hadar.
Okay, so everybody who's asking their questions multiple times but adding the word again every time you have to ask it another time, it's not that I'm ignoring you, it's that, do you see how chat is moving right now? There's a lot of people here and I'm trying to answer a lot of questions.
questions.
Yeah.
And that's just one chat. There are 3
Yeah.
open at the moment.
I believe Jem'Hadar will have access to Foundry missions. I wouldn't see why they wouldn't.
Again, after those
Yeah.
initial restrictions are met, whatever those end up being,
Yeah. Let's see. We're not talking about whether there will or will not be a recruitment event today. We'll have more to say about that later, maybe.
Can we show the ship here? Are we okay with doing that?
I think so, because we released it to marketing.
Yeah.
Let me grab it real quick. Hold on.
You know how much everybody loves looking at ships.
They do, and I think people would enjoy looking at this picture. Let me just save it. Oh, that reminds me. We totally forgot to look at fan art today. I will do that in a minute when we're done answering.
Well, first
tons
we'll
of
show
questions.
you non-fan art.
Yeah, this is not fan art at all. This is the image that was released to media today.
Because I'm excited to get you guys talking about this.
Wait, that's the wrong theme. So there you guys go.
Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. I suddenly had a brief panic that I got the wrong theme song just for a second.
I had a brief panic of which theme song is he doing, because all the Star Trek theme songs bleed into my head, except for Enterprise, obviously, which we could do another kind of
I'm
sing-along.
not putting the drink back, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's not.
Let's see. Are we talking about how Jem'Hadar are working in terms of whether they have their own allegiance or whether they're aligning to the two major? Is that a thing we're talking about today?
I don't know how many of those details.
Yeah.
I can tell you that you will start as a member of the Dominion.
Yeah.
Where we go from there, I think we're not
We're
going to
hold
discuss
off
it
on
just
that
yet.
for right now. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Sarek wants us to now sing the DS9 theme as part of April Fool's this year. DS9, you're the three of us going da-da-da-da.
But we have to get the whole team to like start with a blah.
The first time I went to Deep Space Nine in game, I actually went to Spotify and queued up a string quartet version of the DS9 theme as I was flew up as slow as humanly possible, and it felt great.
Because you are the right kind of nerd.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Mike Saunders. I'm not sure I understand the question, Mike. Sorry, if you could rephrase that. It's not about Victory's life, though. Let's
There's
see.
a question from Captain B Money. I saw it from here. Said by the time X Fork rolls out, we'll be able to do re-engineering on pretty much everything. That hopefully,
Yeah, that's
like
our
our
general
team's
plan.
working in all of our free time. We're trying to crank out more and more items that can be re-engineered.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a few that probably won't. Like we're still not sure what to do with kit modules or kit frames and a couple other little exceptions to the rules. But yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah.
It'll keep being worked on though.
Yeah.
You know how long it took for everything in the game to be upgradable?
Yeah. There's a lot of questions asking us specifically to answer the number of episodes total in the expansion. We announced that there would be 6 episodes today. I think we are probably going to leave it there for now. There is more to say, but not... 6 episodes is a pretty good estimation of the number of episodes in the expansion.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see.
That's on day and date.
Yeah.
Like that's-
David Ogden Steers, I don't know if he is, but Stephen Hawking is on the memorial plaque, RTK 142. If you go to the memorial plaque, there's a thing you can click on that takes you to a full list of everyone that should be memorialized. So we didn't add Hawking as his own visible plaque on there, but he is still memorialized there. I don't know if David Ogden Steers made it on.
Because he was technically a guest star.
Yeah, he's the
Next
only person
Generation.
in Star Trek history to ever have played himself.
Really?
Yeah. I thought that was weird too, and then I thought about it. It actually makes a lot of sense.
Wait, so that wasn't really Leonardo da Vinci?
In Voyager, it's a Voyager. It's a Voyager reference. Anyway, hey, look, questions.
But I enjoy staring daggers at Jeremy so much.
Can we answer that question about what's going to be done with Jem'Hadar ships? I mean, can we at least say that a Jem'Hadar character will have a ship when they start the game?
That's a good
Yeah.
thing we can say.
It will not be.
Well, we definitely can say it now because you said it.
Well, I mean,
We'll say they start with more than 0 ships to their
Yeah.
name.
right.
Yeah.
They start with more than 0, maybe less than 2,
Yeah.
Wait,
and it's probably not a Klingon ship or a Federation ship.
Those
You're
are
gonna-
likely all true.
you're gonna have to explain that to me later. How that math makes sense. Tuscan
More
38.
than 0, less than 2.
Mighty Master 000. No, they will not be Tier 7. There are not going to be Tier 7 ships in Victory is Life. Raising the level cap does not mean we're adding Tier 7 ships. That's not a thing we're doing.
Right.
At least in this expansion. We have no plans to make Tier 7 ships. But I don't want to ever say we'll never make Tier 7 ships because then someday we will and people will be like, but Kel said we never would.
Right.
And it'll be on
13 years ago, they said they'd never
Yeah,
do it.
exactly.
But
Are
at
they
least not coming now.
That's going to be an interesting question. Here's an interesting question. Are there going to be ships for other factions besides the new one that are going to launch with Victory is Life.
Yes.
I mean, we showed one, right?
Did we?
I don't know.
Huh? What?
They've seen a ship.
They've seen a
that
ship.
Might have something to relate to that.
There might be a Jem'Hadar ship. You don't know. Was it supposed to be implied by a news blog that Deep Space Nine is somehow in the Gamma Quadrant? No, that's just a thing that happened in the press release. It's fine. It's fine. The Deep Space Nine is on the edge of the wormhole. Actually, here's a question that I've seen pop up several times today that you guys might be able to answer. Will you be able to travel through the wormhole once Victory is Life 1 launches? Like, actually go to the wormhole? I think that was a goal
at some point, but I don't know if it's actually going to...
What do you mean, like inside the wormhole?
Like, so when you go to Deep Space Nine, can you go to the wormhole and travel to the Gamma Quadrant by clicking
So in terms of travel to the... There will be a sector map for the Gamma Quadrant, and I believe the wormhole is how you access it.
Yeah.
Which I think means that also the wormhole is now going to be accessible from sector space, possibly.
It could be like the gateway to the Solanae sphere, where you go to a thing in the Beta Quadrant, and there's a list of things like travel to Solanae Dyson sphere or something.
So Jack Sparrow Jive wants to know what other content besides episodes will be in there. Well, actually, he wants to tell us how annoyed he is about certain things, but then he also wants to know what other kind of episodes.
Well, we did talk about the sector battle zone.
The sector battle zone is something that I have actually been. We're doing this thing called iterative playtests with it, which is super fun. Which means that I have been playing this content every single day, and it's being done by one of our designers, Jesse Heinig, and it is going to be insanely fun when it launches. I really think you guys are going to dig it. It's the first time we've ever done a battle zone that is sector space, and we'll have more details on how that works in the future. But it's a really cool concept that I think you guys will get a big kick out of it.
Yeah, and it's going to basically encompass all of the Gamma Quadrants, so it gets everybody involved no matter where they are.
It's not quite like anything we've really done before, but it's something that I think people have been kind of asking for in roundabout ways ever since like the Iconian War, right? Like, make it feel like a conflict, make it feel spanning the galaxy, right? Like the sector battle zone is
so
really...
spoilers, you're probably going to be fighting Herc.
What? We didn't just have an episode that revealed that there's a major antagonist that has something to do with Odo. That's crazy talk.
That does sound familiar. I think we did do that.
Which, by the way, now that we've confirmed Renee is in the game, I can also confirm that we're most likely, when he gets here to record, we're going to go back and have him re-record that line. The reason that we used a bit from the show is because, honestly, just because he hadn't come in to record yet, and we wanted to make sure that we could have Odo in that little bit of a teaser. So yes, there was a question that I saw here that I liked, but oh god, it's going so fast. Skybree Clement wants to give me hairstyle options. I like that.
Can they see your highlights on the stream? Like
kind of, you can kind of see.
Because parts of your hair are green, and I'm wondering if it disappears.
Yeah, I didn't get any comments on it the first time. So somebody wanted to know if Deep Space Nine is getting an update. That's not something we're definitely talking about or confirming today.
Is this new?
What?
I can't tell.
Yeah, a lot of the screenshots we released today have Deep Space Nine in them, and that's about all I'll say.
Well, it did get blown to smithereens during Scylla and Charybdis, so it's got to go undercover.
It's got to get replaced somehow. Yeah.
That feels like something that we do. It's almost a trope for Cryptic. Like
we blow things up.
We blow it up to replace.
We've done it twice. I don't know if it's.
We did it with our space dock. I think we did it with something on Kronos too. First City.
Did we do it with Trezana? Not really.
No. But that's actually good for our game, because our game is a continuous story, so it would be weird if it was just Earth Space Dock looks different than it always has.
But it does. For even new players, they don't get to see the old one, even though they go into midnight.
MMOs, hooray.
Yeah. So it's a little weird.
So anyway, don't think about it too hard.
I think that we kind of hand-waved that by saying that those missions take place in like the lower decks.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. People are asking if we'll blow up Drozana Station. I don't think we'll be blowing up Drozana.
Was that a request?
Yes.
Was that a please for God's sake?
I did see a comment there about if you do rebuild DS9, please don't use the one from the books. Anytime we talk about rebuilding something like that, we're talking about making it more accurate to the show, not...
If we were going to do a rework of Deep Space Nine, which, we can't confirm or deny, it would be...
we're just
it would be to make it... Right, it would be to make it look more accurate to the show, rather than doing a redesign from something else. Someone wants us to bring back the old Earth space dog. No. Jack Sparrow Jive wants to know about doing some kind of Victory is Life inspired Foundry contest. Good idea. Anyway.
Sounds to me like it's already been scheduled.
What? Actually, it was pitched to Maria about a month and a half ago, and I've never heard back. Now I just realized, so I'll shame her on stream for that, since she was shaming us for our microphone.
Technically, it was because of my tea.
Yeah. The old I didn't. Okay, so this is actually. So people are saying the older space dock is in the Foundry. I didn't know this. When we did our anniversary video, Nick talked about how much fun he had rebuilding Earth space dock, and the video team was like, "Oh, we would love to get some footage of the original Earth space dock, but we don't know the map name. We can't find it." And I was like, "I guess it's gone. It's in the Foundry. We could have gotten it. I could have gotten them a demo."
That's actually why the logical name for our modern space dock ends with O2.
Yeah.
Because the old one's still there.
Yeah, and also all of those map names end in O2. I think it's tradition now. Will we have more experimental weapons?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I figured. Let's see. Well, Maria, you weren't there. I was at Perfect World at the time. Okay, so Kurgan, we are not answering any questions about other playable races that might be affiliated with the Jem'Hadar faction at this time. But we're not answering questions. It's called the Jem'Hadar faction.
Sir Boulevard asks, any chance of having DS9 in space being resized down to its actual size? There are no plans to change DS9 in space.
Wasn't it? Neither of us were on the team, but I remember like discussions about pre-launch DS9 that they put it in at like the actual size and it was smaller than a Galaxy, I think.
It's bigger than the Galaxy. There are. I mean, it's also a situation of the skill not being super consistent.
Yeah.
But we're not. The problem is that we would have to change it on a bunch of different maps where the size is actually pretty important to gameplay, right?
Yeah.
Like Counterpoint, I think, is a really big one.
Shuttle.
Yeah. So.
And Sil and Charybdis that we just did too.
Right. Yeah. So there are a lot of reasons why we can't really change the size.
The
of
current
DS9
scale,
in
I think,
space.
is a size that it appeared on screen.
No.
If I remember correctly.
No. It was never that big.
Okay.
It's bigger than the Enterprise J. Like it's massive.
Well, you know what? Deep Space Nine deserves it.
Tuscan38 wants to know if we're getting cool new ships that have never been seen before. No. We definitely haven't talked about this already.
Kale's answer to that question is not official.
No, my answer to that question is don't listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Look at the pictures on your screen. A lot of people are requesting Changeling playable races for a lifetime subscription. That's a really interesting idea. Again, we're not talking about any other new races other than the Jem'Hadar today.
Right.
Marquez 44th Fleet says Kurland here, but that's a lie because Kurland is there. Let's see.
Kurland will be here.
Can you name your Jem'Hadar Mr. Wumples?
Yes.
Sure, go for it. Why
Absolutely.
Wait, do we know that Wumples is not on the restricted list?
not? We don't know
Because
that.
I don't know that.
I could go at it.
I can't say
Maria
that.
probably knows. Via Ventar has a terrible urge to ask about a freedom class. I mean, we don't talk about upcoming content except for when we're talking about upcoming content. So
It's the Ambassador with the 3 Galaxy nacelles arranged in like a triax kind of.
Is that good?
No.
Oh, okay.
I had several people, as with whenever we announce anything new, come up, message me that I needed to go up to your desk and beg you for a T6 Vorcha. So I'm doing that officially in front of people.
Yeah,
T6 Vorcha.
Oh, Vorcha. I heard Vorta.
Oh,
Like that's-
T6 Vorcha.
Like, you can't fly a Vorta.
That's because you're not trying hard enough. I'm sure there's been some founder in history who's made a ship out of strapping Vortas together and pointing them in a direction.
Oh,
You
man.
wouldn't fly a Vorta.
Let's see.
For the glory of the founders!
There's apparently there's questions being thrown that Zero is answering because none of us would know the answer to, which now one of the questions
Or
is.
because there's too many dang questions being asked for us to keep up with some of these.
Oh no! Someone was actually being rude to Maria. He asked a question and she answered it, and he was like, "I wasn't asking you, dude. Don't be rude to the lead producer. That's a bad idea. It leads to a bad."
She
day."
probably knows more than us in many areas as well.
This is
She
a
definitely knows more than most people.
Yeah, she knows more than me by a long shot. Let's see. Will there be interactions between Quark and Odo? We're not announcing story beats today, but I mean, we would be dumb.
Wait, we're getting Quark?
Yeah, we're getting Quark. Do you need me to pull up a picture? There was an announcement today and everything.
He did if people don't know, it was in, what was it, Star Trek magazine?
Yes.
Yeah.
That isn't out yet.
Oh.
The
It will be.
thing we wrote for Star Trek Magazine, that isn't out yet. But keep an eye on Star Trek Magazine, everybody who reads Star Trek Magazine.
You should keep an eye on Star Trek
It's a good magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah.
Not related to this at all. By the way, I'm seeing some questions about the Constable spec, but we can probably cover those in a future stream, like when.
Yeah.
Because this is really we're here.
We're talking
today
about mostly about Victory is Life.
Yeah. So come back to a future stream and we can talk more about the Constable.
Someone said Armin Shimmerman is amazing. That is absolutely correct, and you should read the interview he did with GameSpot today, because there's all kinds of cool
GameSpot.
stories.
I knew he did one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. GameSpot.
All right. I just said the wrong one.
So Velhim wants to know if, specifically Aaron Eisenberg, but any other previous returning cast members, we can't talk about anybody other than the 4 we announced today.
J.G. Hertzler.
So J.G. Hertzler, there we go. So past cast members will be returning, at the very least, J.G. Hertzler.
Yes.
What are some things we can talk about? Well, everything that we covered today, we can maybe give some more details about. So that's, the sector battle zone, the Jem'Hadar playable faction, the level cap increase, the 4 actors that we're including, and the 6 episodes. But a lot of that stuff, we're not
telling
gonna,
the full story.
Yeah, we're not going to. And then the Jem'Hadar. Monte tanks all. Cannot confirm or deny. I'm just going to say I cannot confirm or deny.
God, there's so much I want to talk about.
Yeah, I know.
The thing that I want to talk about was mentioned in the press release, but it was almost like a throwaway. It says...
Well, it's in the press release, so you can say that.
It says a progression system.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just those 3 words.
And we can't give any more details than that right now.
And it's just like, it's just there, begging to be asked about.
As someone who's played the game for a long time, this is a cool progression system, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
It's not it's not going to feel like, oh, here's another thing I have to do. It's really cool.
Dr. Kazaks, we already said we won't be able to answer that question today. Drogan wants to know how much time we expect it'll take players to get from 60 to 65, which I think we can answer without giving away too many details.
Good players or me?
I think let's start. Let's make a scale. Let's put the Kale at the bottom, the Mordecus in the middle, and the Spartan at the top.
Okay. So Kale, just to get through the content, or are they
just to get 60 to 65?
Oh, to 65. If you play the episodes, then honestly, it's not going to take a lot of time. I don't know the exact hour estimates, but most of our missions reward you close to a full level when you complete them. So there's 6 new missions, so that's going to get you a really big chunk of it. But again, I don't know the exact specifics. But you can play all of those if you're dedicated on the day it comes out. Probably.
How long?
Several hours of gameplay.
How long will it take that one player who is still a Romulan that hasn't chosen a faction to get to 65?
Unfortunately, I don't know if they can get to the Gamma Quadrant without choosing a faction.
Hey, everybody, I think there's an XP weekend. Is it this weekend?
It's this weekend, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. That's how you do it.
Get to 60, quick! So it's not going to take... Honestly, the level cap increase is not the big part of the progression system. We're introducing a new system that, again, I'm so anxious to talk about. That's something that's a bit more in specs, in that it's a long-term, not so much level-focused form of progression. And that's really... That's what's going to be the longevity system of this. That and the battle zone, which has got so much repeatable gameplay. It's so much fun.
Kurgan, I'm sorry you went to the wrong streaming place first, but the Perfect World channel is hosting this channel, so you still would have seen it.
Also, I think another thing to just kind of answer about that, if you guys have played STO, and I think a lot of you have, otherwise you probably wouldn't be tuning in, you know that once you get to 60, the game's not anywhere close to over. Some might even say it starts at 60. Which isn't entirely true, but it can be seen as something
it's
somewhat accurate. Yeah. So you know how much gameplay currently exists at 60. Getting to 65 isn't going to be all there is.
Right.
We're also making it possible so that all the current level 60 stuff will still be available at 65.
Yeah.
So, as well as any new stuff that comes out.
Yeah. Let's see. I had a question. Somebody was asking if you will be able to customize your Jem'Hadar characters in the Tailor. Yes. I know you can't do that with their buffs, but you will be able to do that with Jem'Hadar characters.
Correct. Yeah.
Let's see.
They will probably get new bridge officers that can be customized.
Yeah. I don't think I can answer that one, Necri, because I think that relates to the progression system that Jeremy really wants to talk about that we can't talk about yet.
God, we haven't even named it.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I mean, to you.
Well, yeah.
I know what it's named.
We know what it is. Anyway, let's see. There's a lot of level cap increase questions. Are we going to be doing any sort of rebalancing or retuning due to the 60 to 65 increase?
Just what it allows us to do. Like, tables will increase as you go past 60. That means that we can determine if something hasn't been working at its current level, if it doesn't go up at the same rate, that kind of stuff. But it's not being used as an excuse to widespread remake the whole game, because we don't want to. We're hoping that X4 brings back a lot of players or revitalizes a lot of existing players to experience a new set of end-game progression and stuff like that. We don't want to drive them away by changing everything that they know and love right then and there. Right. We'll wait for 2 weeks.
On that subject, because a lot of people were asking about it today, I know that we didn't do an increased level cap increase just to do it when it's not about adding power creep to the game. So what was the design philosophy behind it's now is the right time to go from 60 to 65?
It's the first step on a journey, really, and we think that there's a level of marketability to it. Obviously, if you say that your game is increasing the level cap, people that haven't been playing in the past year, 2 years will be, there's going to be new stuff then, I should go check it out. And hopefully they do.
Well, and there's so many missions in STO that you get to 60 long before you're done with your mission journal.
Yeah.
So if you're starting, even if you go start an Agents of Yesterday or Romulan character, you're just gonna feel like you're making progress in your character progression a little bit longer too when you have a higher level cap.
That's part of what the raising the level cap is also meant to kind of improve upon, is that experience. Like right now when you get to 60 in STO, there's so much more that you can do that you feel like you should still be leveling, and you do in ways like you gain spec points and stuff like that. But having an actual tangible levels just makes sense to so many gamers. And having it be more tangible that, hey, I'm actually achieving a bigger number by doing this, we're hoping will just kind of reinforce that advancement in some ways.
Cool.
I have two questions that I don't know if you want to answer right now, but can you talk about the curve? How the curve, if the curve changes at all, or if it should be pretty consistent from 59 to 60 to 61, that kind of thing?
I don't know if there's a reason that we shouldn't talk about that.
Yeah, that sounds fine to talk about to me.
Okay.
If it's wrong, Maria, you have 5 seconds to run up here and tell us.
Like
you're on a 7-second delay.
This to 50, and then it goes like this to 60, where we're pretty much going like this.
No! Bad Jeremy!
No, it's a straight line.
I need to get a Borticus spray bottle.
As I said, this level cap increase, we are looking at it, and no guarantees that we will raise the level cap in the future, but we're trying to set up a system that makes it easier in case we do. So we're setting up a lot of groundwork for ourselves that so this is a straight line. 50 to 60 goes to here, 60 to 65 just keeps on this exact same parabolic.
And then are we adding more skills to the actual skill tree that you get?
No, since those stop at 50 anyway.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Then adding more to the end doesn't affect them.
Gotcha.
You will gain spec points, I believe, for each level that you get between 60 and 65, the same as if you were just earning them naturally. Oh, that's probably what we're talking about in terms of XP costs, because people were talking about the curves. Right now it costs, it takes some couple tens of thousands to get from 59 to 60, and then when you hit 60, it's a pretty big jump to how much it costs per spec point.
Right.
It's several hundred thousand. I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head. We're not going to make that same gap that 59 to 60 is right now. It'd be the same gap that 60 to 61 is.
Right.
No, we're going to take that and flatten it, and then put that gap at the end.
Okay, so it's instead of adding 5 levels into the end game you already have, it's moving the end game back a little bit and adding 5 levels.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Cool. Somebody was asking, will the Jem'Hadar be able to play other missions in the game besides the ones in the new expansion? We're not talking about how that will work, but yeah, they will be able to.
That's our plan. I think it's working.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
I don't make content, sorry.
This is why we haven't announced the release date yet.
Yeah. We did announce a release month, though.
That's why Maria's watching the stream and go, well, I guess we're doing that feature now.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so we can promise anything on this stream. We have to do it. Flying horses. That's the new Tier 6 ship.
Jem'Hadar get exclusive access to pink tutus.
Oh, well, that's our April Fool's joke for next year. A couple people are jumping back into Yell, playable Cardassians, playable Cardassians, playable Cardassians. We're not talking about any other species of the Jem'Hadar today.
It's funny. We don't talk about upcoming content except
for now, right now, when we are. But we're only talking about some upcoming content. And I always feel so bad about that because it's like I'm opening the door a little bit and then everybody's like shoving their feet in going, okay, but playable Borg when? And I'm like, I can't answer that question.
We'll try, guys. We're trying.
Since all this art is done and I think implemented, I think it's okay to say that the playable Jem'Hadar look awesome, and they are. We're not using.
Wait, would you not say that if the art wasn't final?
I wouldn't mention it at all if the art wasn't final.
And you definitely wouldn't mention it if we hadn't made a final decision on what race it would be.
But the playable Jem'Hadar look awesome. They're not. It's not the art from the launch of the game or that's in the game right now. We kind of started from scratch on how they look. I mean, they look canon. They look like Jem'Hadar are supposed to look like, but they look great. So you guys can look forward to a refreshed Jem'Hadar sculpts.
Although it'll be
ZBrush mentioned.
Yeah. I don't know if we're making any modifications to the existing Jem'Hadar bridge officer, though. We might. I just don't know if we are.
There's an interesting question. Will there be girl Jem'Hadars?
No.
Because they're...
Do you guys not know how Jem'Hadar...
They're technically only male, but they're actually genderless.
Right,
They're
in fact, you know what?
Vats.
They're all female. And they're all male. They are whatever you want them to be.
Yeah. It's like those people who take Space Marines from 40K and paint them all up in like pink Hello Kitty style.
Sure. Yeah. You do you.
Yeah. Will the Jem'Hadar playable characters have a Ketracel white addiction? That's a very interesting question, and we may have more information on that in a future date. But right now we can't say anything more. But it's a really cool idea. Let's see. The Jem'Hadar can be my waifu confirmed. You're right, Wondrous Magnet. That's absolutely correct. Hello Kitty Jem'Hadar are also confirmed. I hope Maria's writing this down.
Pink tutus. Exclusively for Jem'Hadar.
Eric Yako said wants us to add Tholian boffs, but he forgot the F and the F, so he said add Tholian BO, which is a very different thing.
You don't want that. Remember, they're made of radiation.
Yeah, they probably already do have a BO power that can...
Probably smells like burning flesh.
Cthulhu showing why he's not a game designer by proposing a system where you buy white with Zen, and when your Zen runs out, your character dies and is deleted.
Well, apparently he's been reading my design docs, so... Yeah. Thanks.
Orlando Geek, we would love to do another STO tie-in fiction book. I have been asking a lot whether we can take all of the fiction that we have made over the years and turn it into some kind of compilation book. That's something that would be way off in the future for something we end up doing, and it would involve finding a partner
what I would love to do?
What?
This is so pie in the sky. I shouldn't put this idea into the stream's heads.
Yeah. So here we go, everybody.
All right.
Our fiction should be turned into graphic novels that we should talk to like fan artists and stuff that could turn them into.
Anybody wants to do that? Please, yeah. I would love that. And also, I have heard your cries in the night as you stand on the rooftop screaming, "Why aren't the fiction blogs in game?" I have heard you. We are talking about it a lot. There's lots of talking. A new Art of STO book. That's a fantastic idea, Thomas. Mm-hmm. Anyway. God, this question's
Thomas,
so
T6
fast.
Ambassador when?
T6 Warshot when?
Fulgrima wants to know when we're going to have Maria back on the stream to do more funny voices for Foundry missions. I keep trying to get her on, and the poor woman is so busy with Victoria's Life.
We do Foundry and other gameplay stuff when we don't have really important stuff to talk about.
Like this.
Like all the things in X4 that we can't talk about.
Yeah. Tim says LOL. Also, hi, Tim. And great work on all the stuff that we showed off today that people don't know you worked on because I can't talk about it.
Is there going to be a new UI theme for the Jem'Hadar?
Yes, absolutely. They will have their own UI skin and a new UI color palette.
Yeah. Will existing Jem'Hadar enemies get a facelift since we're adding new Jem'Hadar models into the game?
I believe that's true. Yes, I believe that we're going back and updating our old Jem'Hadar critters with the new models that we've made.
Jack Sparrow Jive wants to know how many 3D ships we ordered. I ordered one.
I ordered one.
I can't decide which one to order. I'm gonna get one.
I had a paralyzing hour and a half of deciding what shield to put on my ship, but
Yeah. You even sent out like polls.
it seems like the purple UI is what people want for the Jem'Hadar.
It's going to be so if you
If you look at their LCARs displays, there's screens on the bridges. It's similar to that, or inspired by at least.
It's
right?
it's inspired by that. There's actually there's a little purple, there's some green and some yellow and
Skuka, I am helping you order your ship. They're working on it, bro. there's a bug with specifically the type of ship that Skuka has, which is the one that I was talking to you about ages ago. It's a ship that very few people have.
Yeah, I fixed that.
Yeah. Okay, so that's fixed.
It's
so
fixed, Skuka.
Go order your ship.
Not yet. Wait till it gets in the build.
Wait for the patch.
Okay, it's not in the build yet, Skuka. Don't go order your ship. But it's fixed. We should definitely 3D print the dance instructor and put it on Maria's desk. We shouldn't offer it as anyone else to buy. Just 3D print it and put it on Maria's desk.
Or we could 3D print a Vorta, and then we could fly a T6 Vorta.
Yeah. Patrick Lapete, I think that it would be possible probably to do the first-person perspective, but that's a lot of programming work for something that I don't think a lot of players are dying to have. Can we have Jem'Hadars in Hawaiian shirts? Probably, if they go to Ryza.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
I don't know how the
interesting.
founders will look on. Maybe you want to keep that under wraps while you're checking in with the boss. But
Yeah, definitely don't go talk to the Great Link in your Hawaiian shirt.
right.
Because they're just going to reform you and make you one of
So
you.
if it's a player character model, you have to be able to see the chest and the legs, right?
Yeah.
And there is no canon reference for that I know about for a Jem'Hadar, what their chest looks like or what their like bare legs look like.
We know that you have lots of fan art about it, but don't send it to us.
So, but it's been interesting for a challenge for the character artists to be like, but they've come up with some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
So
Jeffrey Walker wants to know if we can get, I've forgotten how to pronounce her name, I've only read it before, but Salome Jens in to do the female founder voice. Again, we're not talking about any cast members we might be announcing right now.
Unless we've already announced
Unless
them.
we've already announced them.
We can talk to you all day about the. Oh, I almost just. That would have been a bad joke.
Yeah, we were about to announce someone who we haven't announced.
That would have been a bad joke. That
Yeah.
cost me my job. Really bad joke.
Jeremy gets fired, and then out of the new 10 Forward Weekly. Although I got fired earlier for sound issues, so I don't even know why I'm still doing this stream. Maria fired me at least 6 times.
It always takes effect during the next lunch hour,
Yeah.
so that they can do it while you're out getting a burger.
but hey, Kira and Odo and Quark, oh my, that's gonna be awesome.
And a few others that somebody announced, but we haven't announced.
Yeah. Then Martok is coming back. Man, J.G. Hertzler came to visit the studio.
Oh, God, it's so cool.
He was so cool.
He
Both
gave
times he's been here.
he
he's been
gave
so
Weston, our animator, like a limited edition
Yeah.
doll of himself.
Yeah.
Like he's
along
so
with the hand-
enamored with
well,
the work that.
And it's because he walked by Weston's desk and was like, "You don't have enough stuff on your desk." The rest of us, he was like, "You have good stuff." With Weston, he was like, "You don't have enough stuff. I'm sending you merchandise that I
He
have."
sent him like a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
It was so
yeah.
cool. So
But
thanks.
he also said it was because he loved how badass he made him look in some of those cutscenes. Like the one where he breaks out of the prison and has the fight with the other Klingon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Varoop, we did mention earlier that J.G. Hertzler is coming back, so we are having some actors who've been in the game previously return for A Victory Is Life. We aren't announcing anybody else at this point, but SFC 100, we can't say too much about the Sector Battle Zone. One, because we don't want to give too much away right now. Two, because like I said, I'm playtesting it every day along with our QA team and a bunch of
Which
other
means
people.
it's not
It's changing
100%.
every day, and so it's going to be a lot of fun. But the most I can tell you is that it is a battle zone that takes place in sector space, and
You know what? I'll say
play it there.
one more just detail. You're not actually fighting in sector
true.
space, but the gameplay takes place there.
Yeah,
As well as other places.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
chew on that.
Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Let's see. Oh God, what?
New Orleans class, please, pretty
What is
please.
this? Oh, okay, somebody sent me porn again. You're getting banned.
What?
Yeah, this happens every now and then.
Oh Jesus.
I don't know why, but
That's-
Well,
And
I
it's like
witnessed it.
a Twitch premium person.
yeah.
Like
And I can't seem to click
That
on their
means
name
that
to ban
their
it. There we
money
go.
just goes away.
Yeah, it's just a waste of time. All right, moving on. If we're talking about Victory is Life, does that mean we're talking about upcoming content? Yes, this upcoming content.
A limited sampling.
The stuff that we've already announced, we will talk about. Oh God, they're going into their cycle of asking for T6 versions of ships. I don't know if I can stop the wave.
Stream's over. Back it in. Back it in.
What goes into research for putting new playable classes and races into the game?
What goes into the research?
Research, yeah. Like
Most of us have rewatched Deep Space Nine over the last year.
Yeah.
At
Well,
least once.
there's two. I mean, there's that. There's the lore side of it, and so the early on. I mean, that was probably one of the first decisions. Like, what will our next expansion be about? It'll be about DS9. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, that means playable Jem'Hadar, and then
And I will say a lot of the planning for X4 for Victory is Life came from I think certain Mr. Steven Ricosa running around a room with a dry erase marker going, and then we'll do this, and then we'll do this. Like he had a bunch of action figures.
And then
in front
somebody,
of him.
usually Maria, walked behind him and crossed a few of them.
Yeah.
but other than that, there's obviously a lot of stuff. Like somebody mentioned the UI, character creation and new models that have bare chests, so you can wear rising shirts. Like tracking all that stuff down is like a giant task, and it's pretty amazing that we were able to do it more than once.
I think honestly, some of that is building on the shoulders of not just Legacy of Romulus, where we learned a lot of this stuff for the first time, but when we did TOS Feds as well, we made it. At that point, we're doing our second new faction. We learned that this is going to be something we do. We better document it. We better document it really well and make sure everybody knows all of the bells and whistles that have to be put in here. So a lot of the relative ease with which this new faction is being developed rests firmly on the people that
My phone starts blowing up with emails.
That made the effort during Agents of Yesterday to make sure that all that stuff got documented well, and well, this is how we're doing it now, but we can actually do it better next time. All that sort of stuff. Really learning from our own, I don't want to say mistakes, our own experiences.
Learning from the process, experiences.
Q Cullen has a question that's actually an interesting one. He wants to know why the marketing pictures we used shows non-visitor as Kira in our game as she looked in Deep Space Nine, as opposed to what age she would actually be in the Star Trek timeline. That was actually a conscious decision I made. We made several different models of all of the characters, and I chose the ones that represented how they looked in Deep Space Nine, because this was going out to a wide variety of people who were more familiar with the show than they would with our game, and it was better to show them something recognizable.
We did the same thing with Agents of Yesterday as well. When we showed off the faces of Scotty and all of the TOS crew, it was as seen on screen.
Our character artists always make...
And Voyager as well.
Our character artists, whenever we get a Star Trek star to join us, our character artists always make the version that you saw on the show, and then they make the 2410 version too. Because
just we have them both.
Right, exactly. So we have them so we can use them if we need them, but also just so... Because you remember what Kira looked like on the show, and if we show somebody who's like, is that Kira? We don't want that, right?
Or maybe it's just that Bajorans age really well.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe. We actually don't know what the Bajoran lifespan is. Do we?
I don't know if we do.
Literally every alien
We've
species
seen old
ages.
Bajorans, but I don't.
Literally every species ages slower than humans.
Dang preservers, DNA seeding.
Let's see. Will we make...
Anyway, to further answer that question while you find a new question, she will look 2410 aged when you encounter her in the storyline.
Okay, so Dave Edwards, do we go through stages of grief when we add significant non-canon additions to the game? No, that's one of the best parts of our job. We love doing that. That's great.
Stages of grief?
What?
Yeah. It's true. We do know Ocampan lifespans.
Yeah, because making video games is horrible, guys.
Sayajin. I'm sorry, I totally butchered that, but it's your screen name, so I don't feel quite bad. It's not your real name, unless it is your real name. Wants to know, will Victory is Life be purchasable with Zen? No, it's free, guys. It's free content that's getting added to the game. Just like almost everything in our game. No, we're not. But now they know there's something to talk about, Jeremy. Can we expect to see someone punch Q this expansion? No, probably not. I'll just write that one off.
Yeah, then Q's not a part of this expansion. This is focused on DS9, and Q was only in one episode of DS9.
And we know you love Cisco punching Q.
That's where he got punched.
That's true.
Yeah, but he never came back because they realized they didn't need him to be there.
Evil Mark 443. I've seen this question go by, but I keep missing it because other things come up. I do not know if there will be liberated Borg Jem'Hadar. I don't think that's something that we would announce today if there would be, but I don't know if that's happening. Because you know how you can get liberated Borg for most of the factions in the game. I don't know if you will be able to do that for Jem'Hadar. That actually may be something we haven't thought about yet. So you may have put a bug in our heads, or minds, or ears, words.
I don't need more bugs.
Psychiatrist, we did answer that, and most of the answer was we can't really talk about it. Sorry about that. We're not going into major details on that today. Will the Enterprise F appear in Victory is Life? Thomas?
I don't know. I mean, you're going to be playing a Dominion Jem'Hadar person, so it's possible.
Well, you can play the new content as your existing Fed or Klingon characters as well.
It's likely it won't. I mean, the focus is really going to be the DS9 cast that we have, right? So if the Enterprise F shows up, it'll probably be sort of like what happened in Scylla and Charybdis, where they showed up just kind of like, Enterprise is here to help you out, but we want our new actors to have the spotlight in this.
The story of STO is written for you as the player to be the star, with everybody else being guest stars. So we don't want to risk overplaying the Enterprise, because that takes the spotlight off you. You're cooler than the Enterprise.
Yeah. How
do you feel about that?
Someone's asking if Sean Cena is going to be in this. I've never heard him called that before, but I love it.
Valkel Sean Cena.
Yeah. Can we play as Jedi? No.
First, you have to unlock it.
Hilariously, I have a meeting right at 4. So
you have to leave. All right.
All right. Sorry.
No worries.
Bye, everybody.
That's not hilarious at all.
Sorry.
That's not even close to it.
Live long and prosper. Victory is life.
Thanks
now
for
you
doing
know
this,
what
Thomas.
that meant. Yep. Thank you. It was a lot of fun. Excuse me.
Well, now I hope it's an important meeting. Jeez.
Are we going to keep doing this for a while?
I was planning on doing it for at least another half hour, so
Well, let me switch to his chair.
Okay.
Just nice and warm.
And I'll switch to just your name.
You had plans?
Nope. That's still... Oh, I see.
Here, you should come into camera more with me.
Nope. Yeah, I should. All right, I may not have one of just you that's
the right way around.
Yeah, I may not. But we'll try. One more.
We could trade sides and I could drive. No.
No, please don't. Yep, it's backwards. That's fine. I was not prepared for Thomas to leave. Can we grind? No, I'm not going to read that question.
Somebody asked if...
now Mike is the systems. Oh, God.
You don't want that.
No one wants that.
Oh, now we're doing a Sona Lockbox stream.
You guys know who he is.
For the Sona Lockbox?
You know what? There we go. And I'm going to cut off some of our headroom, too.
All right.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody asked if Kurland, have you heard of him, will be returning for the expansion in any manner.
Will he be?
I actually don't know.
I actually, I know.
I don't.
But I'm not going to say.
I do know.
I know if...
I still don't have a SAG membership, so...
So anytime Kurland appears, it's just
the same
old sources. The amount of people who want to throw money at us to get you a SAG membership so you can record, it's amazing and wonderful.
There's a small part of me that wants to do a GoFundMe or something for it, just to see if it happened. But then I'd have to do it, and then they'd have to write a script.
Well, I just got an agent for voice acting. You know, maybe I could pass you on to them. You can get some more jobs. Get your SAG card.
Sure.
So we can finally achieve the goal of having you voice Kurland again for one mission where you say Kurland here and there's never recorded anything else.
But at least I can do it with a different inflection. You know.
Jeremy actually, when he wakes up in the morning, he looks in the mirror and says Kurland here. Kurland here. Kurland here.
It's a 2-hour exercise just to get me hyped for the day.
Yeah. Skuka says he's thrown more money at us for less. Is Kurland dead? Well, Kurland died during Midnight, and I'm pretty sure he also died during Scylla and Charybdis, so he's probably not dead.
I don't think so. I don't think he died during Scylla and Charybdis.
Is Kurland a Vorta? Is he just a Vorta with human ears? Is that why he keeps coming back?
That would explain so much.
So much.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
I think the story was that he did die during Midnight, but when you go back to the Iconian homeworld and spoilers and reset the timeline, that he's no longer dead there.
Yeah. Will the new level cap affect existing gear in any way? And actually, a follow-up: will there be new marks with the new level cap?
Is that something I can answer?
I don't know. Is that something you can answer? You're the one who knows whether that's something you can answer.
So, like, the numbers showing on your existing gear will if you keep, like, let's say you're using all Mark 14 golds because
Mark Teen, everybody. That's
you're
the highest
you.
mark.
Mark 14 golds. As you level up past 60 into 61, 62, 63, you know, the tables that control those numbers, those go up a little bit. So, yeah, they'll get a little bit better. But I don't know how much we're talking about what we're offering in the expansion. I don't know if we're ready
Probably
to say
shouldn't talk
anything.
about that then.
But I will say that there are rewards. You can earn new things by playing the new content and by participating in the new progression systems. And some of those will be relevant to the question that was just asked in ways that I won't answer.
Yes. Dave Edwards, there will most likely not be any major differences between the... Hey, Jesse!
Hello.
like to
between
join
the
us?
major...
What's up, nerds?
yeah, come on. Come join us. Come scoot in. There will not be any major differences between the PC and console version. As far as I am aware, and you'll probably correct me on this, the only major difference between PC and console right now is the T6 Archon Archon class Intel Assault Cruiser, which we never released on console.
You know, if you
and
didn't
I
bring that
really
up-
need to fix that.
If you didn't bring that up, somebody would say, it's not the only difference. Like if
Yeah.
you talk about, oh, it's just the UI's different.
Yeah, no, it's
Hey, everybody. Welcome, Jesse Heineck.
Jesse Heineck, one of our... Oh, just so you know, we've been talking a little bit about your battle zone. And I mentioned that you were designed... We haven't given away many details because we can't yet, but we did mention some of the stuff that was in the press release. And I mentioned that you were designing it, and chat immediately said, ooh, Jesse's designing it. Now I'm excited.
Oh, okay. Well,
Expectations have been raised.
Yes. You're a
not sure
celebrity
that
now
magically
with
happened.
skills. So Jesse is one of our content designers, which means that he has been knee-deep in not only the Sector Battle Zone, but I assume several of the episodes for Victory is Life, right?
I actually have only worked on one of the episodes for
Okay.
Victory is Life. Well, a lot of the content team's been doing the rest of the heavy lifting.
Oh, I just remembered which one.
Yeah, knee deep
yeah.
in guts.
Oh, I know which one
that
you
episode,
did too.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll all know it too when you see it.
That is a little reminiscent of some of your other work.
Yeah.
You're not being typecast, I promise.
Yes.
I like that I'm only half of a head.
Yeah, so am I. You want to scoot in a little more?
I don't feel like being the only whole head on screen.
Well, folks, it's been a fun stream. It's good to hang out with all of you. We'll see you later. Let's see. Duncan Idaho has a question for you, Jesse. He wants to know if there's any canon description of Kelcrit warships.
Kelcrit?
Yeah, from our
tabletop
Star Trek
game.
Adventures game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not yet. Would you like one?
Or would you like to design one? Should we hold a contest for the next one for people to design the Kelcrit warships?
I love design a ship contest.
Let's do that.
Let's find out what kind of trouble Pathfinder can get into.
Yeah, that sounds great. All right, let's do it. Let's see.
Oh, that's what. I'm sorry. My brain is in a different space when it said Pathfinder. I thought that. Are they talking about?
No,
Yeah,
not
not 3.5
No, the
version
USS
2,
Pathfinder.
soon to become 3.5 version 3.
Yes.
Are we excited about that?
No,
I can't
but
decide.
we don't like 3.5, so that's why.
Kelcrit confirmed with a K.
Yeah, there we go. Evil Mark, that's actually a question for Zero, so I'm going to let her answer that one since she's been running through chat. Let's see. Counter Sass has Counter Sass wants to know how he's already created a Jem'Hadar in the Alien Gen with all the Jem'Hadar box stuff.
You can get pretty close.
How sad will he be at the launch of Victory is Life? I'm going to say not that sad.
I don't think that's sad. I mean, since you can start at 60 as playing a Jem'Hadar, you're not going to lose much, if anything. In fact, you might gain because we are giving them a bit of a leg up when they start at 60. So.
Yeah,
I think we'll leave that for you to decide.
Yeah, I think his concern is, am I going to have to redo everything in the game now that I have made a new actual
You won't be able to transfer your existing character over to become a Jem'Hadar. So there's that.
Yeah. Will there be new costumes to unlock? I'm just going to say yes. I don't think we need to hide that there will be new costumes to unlock. I don't know. We can't give any details on
Now
them.
we have to make costumes. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome. Maria, keep taking notes. Yikai, yes, Jem'Hadar do start at 60. We've talked about that a little earlier in the podcast, in the stream. Feel free to go back when the video on demand comes out tomorrow.
Yeah. I did see somebody say, will they have an option to start at 1? No.
Yeah.
They will not.
But you will be able to go back and play previous missions with them if you choose to do so.
We weren't sure if we could say that earlier, if it was confirmed that would be possible.
I set it up so you can.
Okay.
I knew you
Things
had.
can change.
So somebody, first of all, somebody said, how did Zero feel working on favorite show's content, Deep Space Nine? Maria's favorite show is TOS.
Yeah.
We've talked about this in the stream many times.
So after doing Agents of Yesterday, I'm sure it's all downhill for
Let's see. Well, I don't know if we are answering right now whether you'll get a free new character slot to go along with the new faction. Don't know.
Yeah, that's something I've been meaning to look into.
Okay, so we're looking into
Yeah.
that, so we don't know yet.
There was a big long-winded post I made recently about database size and footprints and all that. So there's a lot of questions that have to be answered, but it doesn't sound unreasonable. Pretty sure we gave you a new character slot for both Legacy Romulus and Agents of Yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's reasonable to assume that we're going to try to do the same this time around.
Merknos, I've answered this 3 or 4 times now, but only because I really like the way I can answer it. Are we redoing Deep Space Nine? We're not talking about that today.
I can say that when you see Deep Space Nine in-game, there are fewer green fuzzies
than that.
Right here.
I have tried to fix that for a good 2 or 3 minutes, and it annoyed the heck out of me. Let's see. There's another question I saw. Okay, so Polestar UK. I'm not sure I understand this question. I'm going to pitch it to Jesse and Jeremy and see what they say. And maybe they might have to ask you to rephrase it. Will players have roles depending on their spec to combat game mechanics rather than just DPS? Do you understand that? Because I don't.
I see. So you're asking if there are going to be accommodations in the gameplay for things that you do in a command ship or an intel ship that are specific to those kinds of mechanics that will allow you to contribute in special ways in missions. Is that an accurate read of your question?
I think this is kind of a meta criticism about the way that a lot of our high-end content currently goes. I mean, the truth of the matter is that if you have enough damage, which is a lot, that it generally solves most problems. But honestly, there are a lot of other options in STO, and this is more for my team, systems, less than Jesse on content, but we try and facilitate a lot of different play styles, but if you're playing with a lot of people that blow things up real good, you're not going to have as much opportunity to use those other forms of gameplay. So it's kind of up to you guys to explore them yourselves. Things like healing and control and tanking, these different play styles exist, and they can be explored. It's just...
There is some content that I'm working on, and we don't normally talk about upcoming content.
No.
Sorry. That does involve the idea of you can't defeat this enemy in a conventional I press spacebar fashion.
That is true. I played that content today.
And as a result, like being able to tank and draw aggro from enemies could be useful, or being able to heal certain things.
In that particular content, maneuverability can also really help you out a lot.
Okay, let's see. There was a Facebook question that I saw that I liked. As community manager, do you drink heavily when you get home? I don't drink.
Well, I can't answer for Mike, but yes.
Yeah, you do. Anthony Bird, will there be a starter pack and full pack with this expansion like we did with the last two? We're not talking about that today, but those 2 things were very successful for the last 2 expansions, is what I was saying.
3.
Last 3, yeah. Let's see. Will Lockbox and Lobby ship traits be account bound when Victory Life comes out so we can make our new characters good? So I think the question is more, when you're starting as a Jem'Hadar, what sort of options will you have in order to adapt the playstyle to the one you choose? I think is the less offensive way to ask that. And you talked a little bit about that before, but...
Yeah, I think that the broader way of answering that without getting into too many fine details is that as Stowe... from this point forward, we as designers have decided to make the entire game a bit more account-wide friendly. You've seen this in the form of event rewards. We're one of the most primary examples, but that means that things like there are possibilities, I'm not going to make any promises obviously, but there are possibilities that things that are currently character bound in their current iteration may become more widely available to the rest of your account in the future. I don't think that's going to be something that we're focusing on for X4. But it is something that I can say as designers we're interested in exploring more.
Zero, that was announced by the press release. That's not us us leaking that. she was saying she couldn't say whether the battle zone was ground or space. It's like, oh, it's in the press release that it's space. So.
Right.
It's a sector space battle zone, so it's on the ground.
Little different.
Yeah. The account bound thing, I will take all the credit for because Jeremy was already doing it when I went to his desk and asked him to do it. So, and all those emails went back and forth between the 2 of us asking for that to happen.
It is. You have been a big proponent for it.
Yeah.
That's totally cool. It's taken us a while to basically get those wheels spinning.
Right.
Travis Broforce Richard wants to know what happens to Tier 6 Jem'Hadar ships. I imagine not much, right? They kind of stay... The ones that already exist will kind of exist.
We're going to delete them all. And
Say things! Why are you
into
saying
prayers.
things?
No, you can keep them. You can keep them. They're yours.
Yeah.
As far as I think there was kind of an implied question there whether or not they'd be available in some form to new players.
Somebody says Drowner Beach question mark 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 question mark. Yes, is the
There's
answer.
one more.
Oh, question mark.
Yeah.
Okay. That's actually a very good idea, the Merc 420. If we do bring Cisco back, we should add a mission where you have to cook jambalaya to save the Gamma Quadrant. Jesse, start designing that immediately, please.
Okay.
You have to
Because
do
I
it
decided
precisely to his father's recipe. Though.
Yes.
Otherwise, he just goes back and back to the wormhole.
It's a rhythm game.
Oh no!
Cthulhu, I know you were referring to Ketracel, but maybe don't say that.
Yeah.
No, don't say
Whoa.
that.
We're not going to put that on.
No,
any
we're not going
of
to
our
say that out
marketing
loud.
materials.
My God.
I think he realized what he did.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, okay. Let's see.
Boy, those of you in the Facebook chat are missing out on that one.
Yeah, no, don't go. Don't, let's not pass it on any longer than we already
Do
have.
not read the comments.
Yeah. Will we be able to use the new Jem'Hadar parts to customize our current Jem'Hadar buffs? I don't know if that's possible. I don't know.
Well, I think I mentioned earlier in the stream that I don't know if we're going to... Honestly, we might not have time to go back and fix the old Jem'Hadar buff to use the new stuff. Also, like, that's one of the features of the new Jem'Hadar is that you have fully customizable Jem'Hadar, including yourself and your bridge officers. So if we made the other one also be able to use it, it takes away some of the identifiable identity of the new feat.
So it sounds like if it's something we do, it might come later after the expansion and all is out.
Yeah.
Okay. Bobo Man 2000 has started quoting Matt Hardy in the stream. Let's see.
Noblest Shadow just keeps complimenting me, and I love it.
Yeah, he says you three look so much better than a few months ago. That's because a few months ago we were just starting work on this, I think, and now we're into the announcement phase. Let's see. So, guys, questions about Tier 6 ships being made are not something we're going to talk about on the stream, and Thomas left already anyway. Let's see.
But I can tell you, spoilers, there will be ships coming with the expansion Victory is Life.
Yep.
Ships will be involved.
Ships will
Plural.
be involved.
Not tier 7.
Correct, not Tier 7.
There will definitely be ships.
Hey guys, we're showing off a picture right now. Of
Then it's
something-
gone.
Oh, it's gone. You missed it.
It's fine. Someone will go through the feed and screen cap it.
Well, yeah, it's already been released a few different locations as well.
but it was all
We're not talking about what it is, how you get it, nothing like that, but ta-da!
Okay, I just learned something new. I did not realize that Renee Aubergenois was the chef in The Little Mermaid. That is information that I didn't know until this very moment. We're probably not including a reference to that.
So,
It's
that
Be
one?
Our Guest, but with French lyrics.
He's been many things.
Yes. Force
He is a
Ghost
shapeshifter.
Kurland was the villain. You've already
I
seen
really
him
liked
as the
his
villain
turn as
in,
a vampire in My Best Friend Was a Vampire, the high school vampire movie.
That's amazing. Let's see. There's I know there's a crash happening on Tribble right now. We're looking into it. That's being fixed soon.
yes.
Um,
Good thing it's on Tribble.
Cthulhu, and what we did was not mangling a musical at all. What we did elevated the musical form. And then Jesse went and posted some musical I'd never heard of.
Sorry.
There's a musical you've never heard of?
Yeah, apparently The Scarlet Pimpernel is a musical that I didn't know about.
It's quite good.
That's what I
Yeah.
hear. It looked really good.
Yeah.
Broken Man, that song was both. Alan Menken wrote the same song twice, and we still love him. It doesn't matter.
Maria mentioned that Aubergenois was also in Murder, She Wrote. So
Yep.
was everybody else from Star Trek.
When I worked for a local theater on the East Coast, because Law and Order tapes in New York, every single actor who came through who was SAG or Equity had guest starred on Law and Order at some point.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
single one.
Yeah.
Whoops. Let's see.
Will the
Can we look forward to
Jem'Hadar-
new STO Star Trek Adventures crossover content and Easter eggs? We kind of resist putting stuff that we do for fun in the game. We might, but I feel like it feels horribly self-indulgent for Jesse or I to insert something that we made and we think is funny that's about us into the game. Now, if somebody else were to go ahead and do it, that's
Aren't
not
one
bad.
of you guys playing a character, a STO canon character?
Two people actually are.
Yeah,
Both Paul and Thomas are playing.
Thomas is canonically himself in
Oh, right,
STO.
right. Captain
And
Moroni.
then, and then Paul is playing Commander Kiona, who was the security officer on the Enterprise F, but was recently transferred.
Right.
One of the other reasons that we don't do this is because the kinds of stories that I explore in STO Adventures are not the kinds of stories that we could easily or conventionally tell in STO. So there's a bit of a dramatic difference there in terms of the pacing and the things that are going on and the challenges that they face.
But I wonder if people are asking more like, would we put the Pathfinder in as a guest star ship at some point? Or
Which we
anything like
totally
that?
could.
I think that the Pathfinder has shown up at least once already.
Yeah, but I don't think that. I mean, there's certainly options. I might one day make a Foundry mission that our crew makes a cameo in, but I don't know if it ever would end up like as characters in a story.
Right, and you're unlikely to say be fighting a Kelkrid warship in
Right,
STO.
exactly. Somebody was asking. Crap, there was. People want us to make it in the Foundry.
Oh, there was a question that I wanted to answer. Or at least
hold on. I saw the question about Terran Empire Discovery uniforms. That was the second most requested item when we put out a poll what people wanted in Discovery. So we are aware that you guys want those. We want them too. They're very pretty.
That was my answer on the
Okay.
poll. Yeah.
The which what?
The Terran Empire.
Oh, that, yes.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but somebody asked, will Jem'Hadar characters be able to use existing ships? I think they mentioned like the Odyssey. I don't think if we can directly answer that just yet, but I want to say that is something that will be talked about more coming soon. How the new Jem'Hadar characters interact with existing content and features is something we'll talk about in more detail very soon.
So somebody asked, are the Jem'Hadar... I don't know, you probably can't answer this actually, but it's a question about whether the Jem'Hadar will have like species traits, like how the Romulans and Remans and some of those spaces do. And I mean, yes, they will, but we can't say what they are right
Every
now.
species has species traits, and the Jem'Hadar ones are rad. They are rad.
Yeah. Will this new progression system that we can't talk about, so we probably can't answer this question, but I'll pose it anyway, move people more towards being able to play more effective tanks or healers, in your opinion?
Probably not. It's not really a build-focused sort of progression thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did Jesse play Hank Schrader on Breaking Bad? That's new. Usually we hear the commander from Stargate when you fill up in the street.
Right, that or Michael Chiklis in The Shield.
Yeah, I get Mick Foley all the time. So,
and the answer to all those questions is yes.
Yeah, we're all the same.
He has many
everybody's
talents.
Vorta. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. Will we be able to grow our own Jem'Hadar like Epos? No, but it's a good idea.
Maria, write that down.
Don't you want a Jem'Hadar friend? Yeah.
Well, there was that episode where Odo grew his own, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
And we know that they grow quickly enough. We could put that in game. It's like 3 days, and they're fully grown.
So, guys, once again, I know some of you are just joining. We're not talking about any other species that are joining other than Jem'Hadar, if there are any indeed at all. Let's see.
Victory is friendship.
Victory is friendship. That's way better than what Cthulhu said.
Yep.
Yes.
Let's see. Stephen Mark Pantoja, there's no plans for ground mounts anytime soon, and I don't think much content in the game where you would use them.
Nimbus.
Let's see. Yeah, Nimbus. That's it. That's it. You're right. There's one place.
Shut your dirty mouth.
I can see him.
Wait. Hear me out. Rideable sandworms.
I'm getting that headache again.
Didn't you want a big dude after all these years of making Star
I brought
Trek?
my notepad for brilliant ideas like this.
Yeah.
But
Nope. Victory is a
now.
cheese sandwich. That's also true. Miss Sniper OUZ, we're not talking about any cast members that may or may not be joining us other than the 4 we announced today, which I think is what you were asking by saying Cisco! I assume every time you add a question mark, your voice gets a little higher and a little louder.
Yep.
Yeah.
Extra inflection.
Yeah.
Other names have been mentioned elsewhere that we haven't confirmed, but if you are really into this and need the info, you can go dig a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not officially sanctioned by Cryptic.
Nope. Gosh darn it. Let's see. Will we possibly see more mini games added to the game, specifically in Quarks? I don't think that's something any of us know the answer to, and probably not something we would talk about today if we were.
I mean, the answer is yes, but over a long enough timeline. You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, A lot of us
Before
like,
the heat
like
death of the
minigames.
universe.
Yeah, something like that will probably happen.
I don't know about specifically in Quarks, but yeah, we like minigames. They add an interesting dimension to gameplay.
Will there be upgrades for Tier 6 ships? No, there will be new Tier 6 ships, but there's not going to be a Tier 6U or a Tier 7 anytime soon.
Not with this expansion, that's correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Tier 6 is Tier 6.
A lot of people are asking for Mark Allen Shepard as Morn. I really think Mark Allen Shepard is already playing Morn in the game.
He is.
And will continue to do so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He came into the office, in fact, and recorded all of his lines.
Yeah. It was the shortest recording session we've ever had.
Very clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had
First
no
take.
notes for him.
First take.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was easy.
Let's see. Will we ever go to the Gorn homeworld? That's upcoming content. Well, that's not upcoming content, but it's something we wouldn't talk about anyway.
Right.
All right.
Does level 65 mean that we transcend the bonds of mortal man and become one?
So
with
people, the sand word to rule for 3,000 years is God Emperor. Can you answer what rank 65 is called? Like, it's obviously above Fleet Admiral. Is that something we're
No,
talking
I think
about?
we're not changing.
We're
so
not
just gonna
changing the
Fleet
title.
Admiral,
You just
yeah.
remain Fleet Admiral.
That
Other than
makes
one
sense.
weird section in like level 45 to 50, we don't change the rank until you get a full set of 10.
That makes sense.
So
Yeah.
if we go to 70 at any point,
Then
there might be a new
maybe
rank.
God Emperor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although maybe we'll just figure out a way to bump you back down to captain.
Yeah.
I would like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You screw up the Herc mission so badly that you get demoted.
All
Good
right,
job
so
breaking it.
folks, what we're seeing right now, what I'm seeing is the chat, what I like to call in technical terms, breaking down. And that's when you guys stop asking questions that we can answer and start throwing T6 Vorcha Wen and are you putting Cisco in the game at me? And you know that I can't answer those questions. So I'm going to give you a few minutes and see if you ask any more pertinent or interesting questions. In the meantime, Jeremy and I are going to sing something. No, I'm just kidding. I did almost do that to him. If he hadn't been sick the last 2 days, I would have made him sing Cthulhu in my thing with me. Because I can be somewhat self-indulgent sometimes.
Did we announce the release window? Like, do people know when this is coming?
It's coming out in June of 2018, and later that summer on Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
Later that summer.
Later that summer. We are not saying later that year, we're saying later that summer, because I
Wow.
want you guys to know that it's coming in a reasonable amount of time.
Did you know that it was that soon?
Yeah.
Any hints on the theme of the new story arc? Yes, the theme is Jem'Hadar.
The theme is also an extension of what you've already been seeing a little bit more of.
Yeah,
So
and Herc and Deep Space Nine themed things.
we're not taking a 90-degree turn here. We're continuing the existing storyline.
Are the Jem'Hadar going to be using regular Polaron or something else?
Yes.
Cool. Let's see.
Maybe both.
Yeah. Well, especially when you get your ship and you can put whatever you want on it.
Right. Yeah.
Is there going to be a new B-Man animation for the Jem'Hadar? I don't know about that one. Probably. Orlando
Generally,
Geek
factions
wants
get
to know
thrown.
if Jesse would be interested in GMing a session of Star Trek Adventures for those of them on the Alpha Quadrant webcast. He says Aaron Eisenberg is interested in playing as Captain Nog.
It probably is a lot to ask for Aaron and Garrett and company on the podcast to learn all about RPGs if they're not already gamers. But we could certainly talk about the idea of doing some sort of streamlined game that's more about like the choices they make than the dice they roll.
That could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Things we can do. All right.
Several people have asked if we're going to do more things with GPL. I know we always talk about what can we add to the GPL store,
Yeah.
but it's
It's a subject that
ongoing
recently got refreshed among our team as well. So it's
Oh, good.
it's something that's under discussion. That's about as far as I could go with it.
Yeah. Let's see. Doc Savage, Triple X, we're not talking about any possible recruitment events at this time. And I'm going to say it looks like we're just answering questions that we've already answered at this point. So it sounds like you guys are running out of steam. But we had a lot of fun chatting with you, and I really hope you enjoyed our stream today. I really hope you... I know how hyped you all are for Victory's Life. The bits of it that I've played are incredibly exciting, and the things that I've heard about are super cool.
Yeah.
So thank you guys very much for joining us.
You bet.
I really hope that you had fun, and...
I'm sure we'll each be back over the
Yep.
coming weeks as we
talk about more and more stuff and more information. So we will see you guys in 2018, later in 2018. It's already 2018. And remember, Victory's Life. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Does Jem'Hadar have
Bye-bye
like
now.
a...
Bye-bye.
they
We're
do
still
like
not offline.